Hey YouTube, Motor Racing Network, Steve Post. It's great to be back with you here, and we are loaded up. In fact, we're going to have to do this in two parts. That's how much new diecast we have. So let's get started. We're starting out on this end. This is the Matt Kenseth Kentucky win car. Remember him scoring the victory last year? This is the win car, all of the confetti on the front of the race car, and the big celebration. Also in the win car category, here is Kasey Kahne's win car from Pocono. One of the unique things I like about this is the tear-off still on the windshield on the front of the race car, and just a good-looking Farmers Insurance Chevrolet for Kasey Kahne. All right, one of the more popular cars that we've had over the course of time, the Duck Dynasty car with Clint Boyer, the Peak Antifreeze Toyota. The Duck Dynasty car is now in stock and available as well. Joey Logano's Pennzoil Ford, man, they've been strong this year. And this, a good-looking race car. One of my favorite cars is always the Petty Blue Eric Almirola car. This is the Smithfield car, but they do a great charity initiative, the Helping Hungry Homes plan, where they donate thousands and thousands of pounds of product to food banks across the country. So this is commemorating the Helping Hungry Homes program, and any car that has Fueled by Bacon on it, well, that can't be bad. So there is Eric Almirola's car. The Stanley Tools car of Marcus Ambrose is available as well. And this car has been freaky fast all year long. Kevin Harvick's car. Now, this is not the win car from Phoenix, but it is the paint scheme from Phoenix. Kevin Harvick's freaky fast Chevrolet for Stewart-Haas Racing. So those are the regular finished cars that we have in the diecast, available in 1/24 scale. We have a bunch of color chrome cars in as well. We've got the Luke Bryant, Brad Keselowski Ford for Penske Racing, the Race to Achieve paint scheme in color chrome of Dale Earnhardt Jr., and the Time Warner cable car for Dale Earnhardt Jr. available as well. The white Exalta Standox sponsorship car of Jeff Gordon is available in color chrome. The Snickers machine of Kyle Busch, available in color chrome as well. And alongside of that, we have the M&M's colors for Kyle Busch, available from Joe Gibbs Racing. When we look, here's Danica Patrick's GoDaddy.org car that she had with the pink paint scheme in the color chrome finish. And the 30th anniversary of the Toyota Camry was last year. This is Clint Boyer's color chrome finish. We have autographed and non-autographed version of these next cars. This, the Winn-Dixie sponsorship car that Trevor Bayne races, a race last year that is, in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. So autographed, non-autographed of his Ford Mustang, and the World Financial Group car as well from over at Roush Fenway Racing. Elliott Sadler, the Sports Clip Haircuts car, Help a Hero. They were one of their special paint schemes that they did, available in color chrome. In this car, absolutely amazing. Look at history. A North Wilkesboro winner for the great Dale Earnhardt, the Chevrolet Monte Carlo that he wheeled to victory there at North Wilkesboro back in the 80s, is available now in color chrome as well. And Rob Moroso, one of the great stars that we tragically lost so early in his life, the Peak Antifreeze sponsorship Chevrolet for Rob Moroso, available as well. Now, those are the 1/24 scale cars that we have that are in now. Have a couple of 1/64 scale cars as well available. This is the GameStop car that Matt Kenseth raced last year on the NASCAR Nationwide side, and the Bostitch colors for Marcus Ambrose last year. And in the 2014 editions, we've got the Smithfield Helping Hungry Homes car. We talked about that up here in 1/24th. We have it available in 1/64th. And the UPS sponsorship of Carl Edwards. This the final year we're hearing of UPS involved with Carl Edwards. So this is going to be one of the race cars you want to have in your collection as well. Now, we have only just begun. So through the magic of editing, we're going to shut down. And when we come back, a whole other slate of cars will be in front of us. See, I told you we'd be back with new cars, and this is an exciting product that we have out. These are 1/18 scale kid cars. Now, we love our diecast cars, but there are some of them we just don't want the kids to play with. I understand that, so we have these available for kids to play with. Great big cars, and look at the first one we have. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2014 edition of the National Guard Chevrolet. Available again, 1/18 scale. Great for the kids to play with and have some fun with. So Dale Earnhardt Jr., we have that one. We have the white Lowe's scheme of Jimmy Johnson from over at Hendrick Motorsports, as well as the Champions paint scheme from last year. Has the Sprint Cup Series Championship logo on the top. Again, great for kids to play with. From the Stewart-Haas camp, we've got Tony Stewart's Bass Pro Shops Mobile 1 car, Danica Patrick's GoDaddy car, as well as the freaky fast Jimmy John's car for Kevin Harvick. When we look at Joe Gibbs Racing, what kid doesn't like M&Ms, and what kid wouldn't like playing with this M&M's car of Kyle Busch, and alongside the Dollar General car of Matt Kenseth. From Roush Fenway Racing, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s Nationwide Insurance car, Carl Edwards Fastenal Ford. Again, 1/18 scale, great for kids to play with. And the Blue Deuce of Brad Keselowski from Penske Racing. So a lot of neat cars, and that Blue Deuce, which is white this year so far, has been to victory lane already this season. So these kid cars also available as well. Now, back to the diecast and the kids cars that we have here. All of these are available at your local diecast dealer or at planbsales.com. And stay with us. When we come back, the post show. That's coming up next. Well, it is time for the post show, and what happens here is we answer your questions, and they're right down below here on YouTube. So get those questions in, and we'll get a chance to answer them maybe on the next post show. So ask your questions. We love the interaction we're having with you great race fans, because as we've said before here at Plan B Sales, we're just race fans as well. We come in on Monday mornings, and all we want to talk about is what happened in the weekend's race and what kind of fun stuff happened at the track. So keep those questions coming in, and we'll keep answering them here on the post show. The first one we have is Diet Do Hunter 88. And the question is, do you think Danica Patrick will win a race this year? And do you think Dale Earnhardt Jr. can win the chase? First part of that question, Danica Patrick winning a race. Right now it hasn't looked all that good for Danica Patrick, but the way that team is at Stewart-Haas Racing, they certainly can get hot and win some races. Now, can Danica? I think we need to look at the 2 Talladega races or the Daytona races as her most likely shots. Maybe a shot on the road course, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to really be watching her at Martinsville, because remember last year, that was one of her best tracks, and that's coming up. So we'll see how she's doing there and see how Danica Patrick does. The second part of your question, do you think Earnhardt Jr. can win the chase? Absolutely. He already has a win this year in the Daytona 500. We're taping this after the 3rd race of the year, so he's got a win, a 2nd place, and a 2nd place. Are you kidding me? Junior could win the chase at this pace. Very, very strong, and I just like everything about that team. Now, that is about 30 weeks away. We'll see how things look at that point. But what we've seen in the first few weeks, man, I'll tell you what, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Steve Letarte, and that team are loaded for bear. They know they're going to be virtually locked into the championship run, and it's going to be interesting to see. But again, it boils down to winning races. And we'll see how they do once we get into that championship run. Second question comes in from, and I am going to butcher this last name, Joe Giovanozzo. And do you think a lower funded team will get in the chase? If so, who do you think? You know, Joe, it's a great question. Last year, we would have had Front Row Motorsports in with David Reagan's win at Talladega. So I think you need to look at Reagan or Gilliland for the Talladega races. Gilliland also on the road course. But, you know, another team that just seems to lurk there, and particularly with road courses, keep an eye on A.J. Allmendinger with that JTG Doherty racing team. They're a good little race team. They're affiliated with Richard Childress Racing, so we know the parts and pieces are good. That might be one that can get into that chase as well. But I think maybe coming from those two, but time will tell. We'll just have to see what happens. And finally, Racing Dale 72 says, do you think the 2014 will be more exciting in terms of the chase? Absolutely. From what we've seen, we're not even in championship mode, and we see teams just taking a set of dice and throwing them out there, trying to get the wins. In the chase, that is your guarantee to get on to the next round, winning races. So you think they're gambling now? Wait to see what happens when we get in that chase, and everybody is rolling the dice trying to score victories. I really like, we're 3 races into the season as we record this. So far, I like the risk-taking we're seeing in these races. I like what's happening on the racetrack, and I can't imagine how big it's going to be when all the chips get on the table, all the money's on the line for the championship run. So there you have it. Those are the questions for this week's post show here on our Diecast review show. Again, Diecast available at your local Diecast dealers or at planbsales.com. And we love those questions, so keep coming them in, and we'll answer them on the next post show. We love that you guys are getting involved with us here on YouTube. We have the comments below. Feel free to mention your comments here. Follow us on Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we'll keep you informed on what we have. And please get some back and forth conversation going, because we love talking racing and love talking with you race fans out there, and we appreciate the business you do give us.